Hi everybody. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the benefits of solo travel that I've noticed and that I've personally experienced, and why I am trying to convince you to also take the leap and go somewhere, like go somewhere and explore and enrich your life. Traveling is such a beautiful experience that I understand is not attainable for everybody, but if the only thing stopping you is fear and it's not even money, it's not even time and PTO or anything like that, if it's literally just a mental block, I hope this video can help you see the benefits and why you should be motivated to travel and how it'll grow you and make you better. So the first obvious benefit to traveling is that there's massive learning opportunity. Everything is new, everything is fresh. You're receiving all this new information, new input, new data. And so your brain is taking in all this new information and synthesizing it with what you already know. And it's showing you more. It's just showing you more that's out there, and you're learning that, oh, like buildings can look like this, or art looks like this here, or people look like that, like, and you have conversations with people, you try the food, and you basically just, you are able to understand that things are different. And when you have different things in your reality, like when you go outside of your comfort zone, outside of your norm, outside of like your smaller bubble, like maybe like your hometown or something, you expand your perspective because now you know more. It's literally like you're just downloading new information, and that's beneficial to our lives because it makes us a more well-rounded, a person that can empathize with more people and with more situations, because we literally just know more about the world now. Another benefit is all the self-love and self-awareness that you're going to gain in the journey. um, you're going to learn to love yourself because you're going to spend a lot of moments by yourself and alone. And you're going to realize that, wow, you really, just like Beyonce said, all you got is you, yourself, and you. Me, myself, and I. Like you're gonna realize how much of a best friend you really are to you, and like that'll make you realize, like, yo, like I'm gonna treat you better. It's like a light bulb goes off in your head, and you just realize, like, I love you. Like, you get yourself through everything, and you have chosen you, and it's all about you. So you should learn to love it the same way you would want somebody to take you out on vacation. This is your vacation with you. And you're also going to develop self-awareness because you have to be present. Like, you have to be conscious and of your surroundings and aware of your surroundings. And you have to be mindful of other people's body language, especially if it's a country that is not your first language, that they don't speak your first language. You have to be mindful of other people's body language. You have to be mindful of your own and how you're projecting yourself. Like, people are going to receive you differently. Like, you can't be loud and ghetto, for example, in like loud and ghetto and vulgar in like a Muslim country. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be more aware of yourself and how you're presenting and how people are receiving you. And just as you're traveling, like, the rules are like, don't wear earpods in like both your ears, like, you just have to be more aware of your surroundings and just aware of the present moment. And traveling will help you do that for sure, especially if you're by yourself. Now, moving on to the third reason why solo traveling is so beneficial is the fact that your health and overall wellness is going to improve. This is going to happen in a lot of different ways. Well, first we can touch on food. The food in the United States, if that's where you're coming from, is tainted. It's poison, and we all know this. And so it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So even when you try to eat healthy, you're kind of being sabotaged. Now, if we contrast this to the food that we get when we are international, it tends to be just more like organic, more pure, like and natural, and like not tainted, like not messed with. So it's just healthier. And also, you do so much walking when you're traveling. You're dancing, you're going out dancing, you're walking everywhere or taking the bus and stuff like that. So you're out, and then you're out all day because you want to make the most out of your travel experience. Whereas if you were at home, you probably wouldn't do any extra walking, unless it's to the house from the front door to your car type of stuff, or just throughout the grocery store. So you do a lot. You're more active when you're abroad. And yeah, cities tend to be more walkable. And your mental health is also just going to improve because you're going to be around nature, you're going to be out around exploring, and you're going to be proud of yourself. And it's just a feel good experience overall. I'll just leave it there, but I could really expand on that. Another benefit is the fact that your confidence is going to get boosted. So this goes along with self-love. You're just going to really realize that you've got your back. And if you are able to keep yourself safe while traveling, which you will be able to, and if you're able to like problem solve when small things arise, like, oh, like the bus is not running anymore and I need to, like, like you're going to have to sort out logistics. And at the end of it, you're going to realize, like, wow, like I had a problem that I was kind of intimidated by, but I made it out on top. Like I still got it done and I kept myself safe and I had an amazing trip. Like you're responsible for you. And when you're able to like just successfully create this trip from start to finish and just make it happen, you really just start to it's kind of a flex. And it's not a loud flex, it's an internal flex, and those are the best type of flexes because you're just going to feel internally proud of yourself. um yeah, like you had the fear of traveling at all and you still did it. Like that, there's nothing that makes you more like confident and sure of yourself and trusting of yourself than solo traveling. Another beautiful reason why solo traveling is the bomb are the experiences and connections and friendships that you get to have. Like, oh my gosh, there are, if you like to go out clubbing, if you like to go out dancing, there's something like that for you. Or, I like to stay in hostels because it's easier to meet people. And you just never know who you're going to meet. Like, for example, when I stayed in Mexico, I met these three black girls that were from France. Oh, not France, sorry. They're from Canada. They spoke French. They also spoke English, of course, and a little bit of Spanish. But they were from Montreal, I believe. And they spoke French, but they were black. And I met them in Mexico. Like, just like, what are the odds? And so I got to learn about them. And we still keep in touch till this day. Like, you just exchange numbers, exchange socials. I met so many people, honestly, like just traveling. And, if you pour into those relationships and maintain them, you always have a place to stay, basically, if you were to go visit them. Like, you always have just another reason to go travel again. Like, just meet up with somebody, let them show you around. And people like to be visited. So, yeah, you make lifelong connections. It's amazing. There is no traveling without referring to your map, right? Like you're on foot a lot of the time, or even if you take the bus, like you need to know where you are. You're in a foreign place. So the odds are you have no idea where you are. So you're going to be referring to your map a lot. And when you are looking at your map, you're going to get familiar with north, east, south, and west. You're going to get familiar with where where your hostel or where your hotel or Airbnb is in relation to the museum you want to visit or whatever it is. Like you're gonna get to know and navigate around not just the specific city that you're traveling in, but also the overall country if you're able to zoom out, and then the surrounding countries. Like I've only learned about geography in Southeast Asia when I traveled to Vietnam. I only really learned about Colombian geography when I was traveling there, and I was constantly looking at where I was located. And so you get to just learn what's in the surrounding regions, and then you get better with overall geography, which is so important because it's okay if you don't know exactly where Australia is. But I guarantee you, if you were to travel in Australia, you would learn a lot of the different major cities. You would just learn a lot when you go places. So, when you travel, you meet people and you get to know how they live. Like you get the inside scoop. You're on the ground. You get firsthand exposure to these cultures, not through like social media. You're not looking at no documentary or anything like that. You're there. You're on the ground. And you just get to learn about people. And when you learn about people, it's inevitable for you to come to the realization that, like, yo, we're all the same. We're all so similar. This is a mother here, she's breastfeeding, like, wow, like, I'm a mother too, and I breastfeed. Like, you're gonna just see all the connections, how the kids like to just play, and how people just want to soak in the sun, like, how people love ice cream everywhere, like, there's just similarities that you're gonna catch on to. And just the hustle and bustle of everything, people going to work, like people that are more well off, the fact that poor people are poor, and it's just, there's so much that you're going to be like, wow, like this is kind of like my country but not. And you're just going to be able to compare and contrast and just empathize with people from different countries. Like when you meet somebody that is from Colombia at your job, you can understand like what it's like to be a Colombian, perhaps. A fave of mine is the artistic perspective of traveling, because everything is so beautiful and colorful, and the places that I like to travel, at least, things are so vibrant, and just all the newness, and just seeing all the, like, look at a pink house, like, what, all the newness, all the the newness, that's just the best word for it. It's just very inspiring. Like, everything is just so different, and that naturally is gonna mingle around with your own creative juice, and you're just adding more creative juice to yourself. And so when you express that, it's beautiful. Like, so I always bring a journal with me. I bought some portable like art supplies, like oil pencils and stuff, so I can create while I'm traveling the next time I do travel. So, yeah, you just get really creative. Like, if you have a podcast or whatever you do, I suggest bringing the ability to exercise that passion or exercise that artistic the artistic expression that you have, because you will feel inspired when you are abroad. Beautiful, beautiful adventure and fun and stress relief. Man, they say life is short, to enjoy it to the fullest. You know what I mean? Like, who cares if you are afraid? I mean, it's good to be cautious, but sometimes our worries and our concerns aren't valid, because if you're afraid of going to a place that's not actually dangerous, but there was like one anomaly of a situation that happened and it didn't even happen at the place that you're thinking about, you know what I mean? Like, misinformation can really dissuade people from doing a lot of things, but when you kind of get out of that mental, like, that mental worrying, the mental blocks, you just realize, like, yo, let me just go for it. Like, let me just live and YOLO it, especially if you feel this internal calling to go out and explore and be free and just see what's out there. Like, I believe in you. You can do it. I really do. I believe in you. You got this. It's going to feel amazing. When you're on that plane on your way home, don't be surprised if you start crying. Like, if you start crying at the airport to leave, to go back home, that's how you know you had an amazing trip, because you don't want to leave. So, similar to traveling, building empathy and just like a sense of connectedness with all humans, traveling is also going to help you develop professionally. Now, this is going to happen one or two ways. So, for example, I volunteered at a hostel, and so I learned more about hospitality and how to run a hostel, like check ins and stuff, like the scheduling and everything like that, running a bar, hosting the events for the people that stayed there and stuff. So I learned about that, and I could put that on my resume now. But also communication skills, and also you're gonna just be able to connect more with different people, and that relatability, or like that ability to understand other people, is only gonna be good for you in the workplace. Because everybody's experience, especially if you're black, like being in a workplace where nobody else is black and they don't know anything about the black experience. Maybe they're commenting on your hair, and like, wow, is this your hair when you got like braids and something in? Like, nobody likes that. So if you are competent in different cultures, that's gonna be good for them, and you're just helping making somebody more comfortable. Now, one of my most favorite reasons that I travel, it's to just simply reflect, like, just to have Moments of silence, moments of stillness, moments of pause, and just reflection. Like, there's nobody else to distract you. There's not constant chatter, right? Constant conversations. We love conversations. We love people, but sometimes we just need to spend time by ourselves. And we're learning so much about ourselves when we travel. We're learning what we like and what we don't like, and what our limits are. And with learning comes lessons. So, what is it that we're taking away from our experience, and how are we going to integrate this into our experience when we go back home, right? Because things are going to change, things are going to be very different, but we've learned a lot. We've changed, and we're not the same person that we were when we left. So it's just beautiful being able to like discover more about yourself, get to know yourself. If you made it this far into the video, please drop a comment below, telling me where you are headed next. Where are you going to travel to? And, why did you click this video? What's been holding you back? And thank you so much for watching so far. So the last reason that it's great to travel is that you're going to improve your language skills in other languages, right? Your second and third language, or fourth, however many languages you know. The best way to learn a language is through full immersion, going to that country. And so, even if you're not even trying to learn the language, you're going to pick up on it just by it being all around, like all on the TVs, all any radio music that you hear is in that language. People just talking along the street, having lunch or something. They're all speaking that language, so you're going to pick up on it even if you're not even trying to. And so, if you actually are trying to, oh my gosh, and if you're trying to practice with people and stuff, you're just going to exponentially learn the language that much quicker. I don't believe in when people say that you can't learn a language as an adult. Of course, it might be a little more difficult, of course, but that doesn't mean that you're not capable of doing it. I learned Spanish as an adult, and I'm also learning French, and I've been picking up a lot. But that's the end of this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Yes, please make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and hit the bell notification to never miss an update. Peace, guys.